I'm your host, Wiem Zin Labidin, and you are listening to Tech Tag Podcast. Today, our guest is Ojali Tiagi. She is a software engineer at LiveIntent, and she's my colleague. She's also my friend. I'm looking forward to talk to her. Let's meet her now and learn more about her journey. Hello, Ojali. Welcome to TikTok.
Hello, VM. Thank you for inviting me.
It's my pleasure to have you here. To know you more, tell us some fun facts about yourself.
Okay, so there's this fact about me. I come from the family of farmers. Most of my family members, they are into farming. My uncles and my cousins, we have a lot of land, and only my father, and he was the first in his generation to get out of that profession, and he is an engineer. Now he is retired. And yeah, so he was the first in his generation.
Interesting. And how did you get into programming? Did your father inspire you? Does he work at the same field?
Not really. My father was an engineer from electrical and electronics. That's a separate branch. And he worked for the government. And so it was not related to IT, I would say. And more of his work was administrative. But he motivated us, like me and my brother, to be into this field, like technical field, because back then there were a lot of opportunities and there were new branches for engineering coming out. So yeah, in some way he did.
Nice. And how did you get passionate about programming? How was your educational path?
Okay, I do have the master's degree in computer applications, and I got into this field, to be honest, not knowing much about programming. And initially, it was a bit overwhelming for me to understand the syntax and go through that sort of a stuff. But later in my career, I realized that it is more about problem solving than you learning and just thinking about the syntax and how everything works. So this is how I got interested into the field, I would say. But initially, I was kind of overwhelmed by the whole tech stacks and all those things in my career.
And do you remember some challenges during your studies that you have faced?
I won't say, I mean, yes, I had some challenges, but I think they are the similar like other students have. But the basic thing that I remember is that I noticed that some people were automatically quite good at programming, while others, like I never considered myself at very good at that in the beginning. But and I had this concept about it, like people with only sharp mind can go ahead in this field, and others might left behind. But with my experience, I noticed that it's all about the hard work, about how consistently you are working into this field, and it definitely gets better with the experience. And of course, you get to enjoy things when you learn them, right?
Yeah.
So every journey is different, but it definitely gets better with the experience.
Yeah, you're right. And during your studies, you studied in India, right?
Right.
You started your first job. Was it as an internship or how it was?
It was it was an interesting thing. So the thing is that we used to have placement things happening in India, in which a company comes to the colleges and they pick the final year students who may work for them in future. So I remember this company came to my campus and they were working with Scala. And I did not know anything about Scala back then. It was in 2013. And after the whole process, I know there were many students. They selected two students. I was one of them. And they gave us the like paid internship for 6 months. And if we worked up to the mark, then they said they can provide us full-time position. So I started my journey from there. And yeah, so it was fun thing because not knowing about Scala, I think made it kind of easier for me because I knew that I was not only one in the room who did not know about the stuff. So there was nothing to compare, right?
Yeah,
Everybody was starting from the scratch. Everybody was clueless like me. So
yeah,
somehow it gave me that kind of confidence in me, like I can do it like other people.
yeah.
So yeah, that's how I started.
Did you learn it from a mentor or was it online course?
So we were encouraged to do online course for Scala, like other interns. I did it too. So this is how I learned about the language, and I think more of it came to me while I think working on the projects for the company
Yeah.
because it's a start. It was a startup, right? So there was definitely a lot of work for us to do, and the more we worked on it, and it used to be a kind of a brainstorming thing, and we used to ask a lot of people if we were stuck, and I was lucky to get good people, to be honest, to be working with, who helped me a lot, not just to sort out some problem, but to guide me. And yeah, so it had been a kind of a good time, I would say, in my first company.
And you worked as a backend developer?
Yes. So I think, yeah, if I remember correctly, we all had choices back then that which part do we want work on, right?
Mhm.
If we want to work on UI, like user interface, or backend, or we want to have the testing profile. I would say backend was kind of, I was not sure, like I would end up in backend, but I thought I could, if I'm not able to keep up with the profile, I could switch later on, right? But if I start with a testing profile, it would be harder for me to come back to, as a backend developer.
Yeah.
So I started as a backend developer, and fortunately, I stayed that way.
Yeah, nice. Then after that, you started officially working at that company?
Yes. So after 6 months, it was kind of a stressful time, to be honest, because they took their sweet time to make us permanent. So I remember like a couple of my friends, like interns who joined with me, they left the company or they were asked to leave. I did not think that I would make through the process of getting the full time position.
Mm.
But again, I think I'm really happy that I did not give up back then, or I did not break into under the pressure, because I really feel happy about being there. Keeping up with that decision really helped me to be where I am today.
This is nice.
So yes.
And then how did you progress in your career after this experience?
So I stayed in my first company for more than 3 years, and I decided to leave, like how people do. So I noticed that based on the profile that I was developing, I can have the opportunity outside of India. While it was not I won't say that it was the only motive that I had, but I thought it would be good to explore this option.
Yeah.
So I started looking out job outside of India. And after 6 7 months of being jobless, I got selected for a company in Dubai, where I moved, and I worked there as a software engineer for almost 2 years. So yeah, and this is where I was lucky enough to have the people all from all around the world who worked with me, and it was fun. I learned a lot there, and it was a different kind of exposure there.
That's nice. I think during the 7 or 6 months when you were not working,
Mhm.
I think this was a challenging time. Is there some things that you have learned during that time?
Yeah, so yeah, that those 6 7 months were very harsh, to be honest. Not just because I did not have a job. I had some opportunities back at home. So the thing that happened, that I had an offer letter from Dubai, but my visa was not there.
Mm.
So that was a kind of very stressful time for me, because I was not joining anything in India because I was waiting for the visa, and the visa thing was not happening, and it went to the situation where the company asked me, you should maybe look for other options, because if the visa does not come across, we might not have you here.
Oh,
So it was, and the thing is that, I mean, if I had tried harder, of course, I would have gotten another offer like outside of India. But I think you feel that, like, why everything is going wrong. That's kind of a situation, right?
yeah,
And because there are certain things that you have in your control, and there are those that you don't.
yeah,
And of course, I had pressure from my family as well. uh, they wanted me to get settled down and get married, and I had to put those things on hold because I was still exploring my options, where
yeah,
I'm going to work, what I want from my career. And at that stage, when you are in that age, I mean, in India, it sounds sort of selfish to put your career ahead from everything, right? So yeah, that was kind of that sort of time. It was hard.
yeah. I can understand that it's quite the same in our culture, but it is changing now.
Yeah, same here. Actually, in India also now, women, they have like that kind of voice. They have this option to prioritize their choices
Mhm.
for work, except marriage and other things. So yeah, it is changing, and I'm really happy that my parents allowed me to take that step. But it was hard, not just for me, but for them too, because they had this social pressure on them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can understand that. And when you moved to Dubai, was it easy? I think that you already speak English, right? In
Right.
India, you the second language is English, right?
Right. Yeah.
So only the visa, it was a bit hard, and then you just started at the new company. And is there some challenges in the beginning there?
In Dubai, what I really liked most, there are a lot of Indians there already.
Mhm.
So it never felt like I was out of the country. Around every corner, I would find someone who would speak in Hindi.
Nice.
And in my office, it was a very good company, and they had a very good culture there. The work culture was really nice. My team was really great. And like I said, I learned a lot there. So because they were building this product from the scratch, right? And when you build something from scratch, you get to learn a lot and you get to work a lot, definitely.
Yeah.
So it was great in that way. And the only thing that was different for me, and this was the first time I was living away from my family, and it was harder than I thought. Like, when that sort of expectation that you have, okay, I'll move out and it will be free, and life will be more free. But then you learn that you have to be more careful, you have to be more mature about when you are living by yourself.
Yeah.
And you grow personally a lot when you start living by yourself.
Yeah. That's true.
So I think my growth in Dubai was more personal than professional, but it was an amazing experience.
Yeah. At that time, you worked using Scala also,
Yes,
and the backend software engineer, right?
exactly. Yeah, I was working with the almost similar tech stack that I was working in my first company. We have same structure with Scala, Akka, Kafka, and yes, so it was. I won't say it was very complicated work-wise for me there, because they had the similar product which I was working before. But again, it was the strategy was different to build product there. So this I was never part of that before, right?
Mhm.
So it was one of those processes that I first time worked on. So it was good.
Nice. And then you worked there for how long?
I was there for more than 2 years, I would say.
Nice. What was your next step afterwards?
So the company was good, but later I think they did not need more Scala developers, so they wanted to change my role to data engineer,
Mhm.
which was fine. If I was working with almost similar tech stack, it would have been okay with me. But it was the time when I was getting married and everything.
Mhm.
So I thought I should decide to take a chance and see if I can have an opportunity in Europe. So I just contacted one of the recruiter who had already left me a message on my LinkedIn profile.
Mhm.
I reached out to her, and again, I was lucky enough to meet her. She was very helping, and she sent out the profiles of these companies. And this is when she suggested me Live Intent, because based on my profile and the things I was working with, she said I'll be very compatible with the role they are looking for. So I gave the interview for the Live Intent, and I think after a month or so, after like 3 or 4 rounds of interviews,
Mm.
yeah, I think I got selected.
That's nice. And the change between, I think the visa also was quite complicated because I think that you need to go back to India, or was there the possibility to do your documents in Dubai and go directly to Germany?
I think the only issue that we had, so I got married somewhere in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before this whole process. So I told them that I'll be coming alone because I was not married when I gave the interview and everything.
Yeah.
And then I got married. So, and then Corona happened. So it was like so many things happening.
Oh, yeah.
But uh, again, I would say I was lucky enough to be with people who supported me during that process, because there was a time when I was stuck in Dubai and I could not go back to India because the cases were not going down there, right?
Yeah.
And I could not leave Dubai to come to Germany because I did not have that visa. So I had to stay there for I think 3 4 months, and the lawyers here in Germany, they really helped me through to get that process done, and they specifically requested at the embassy in Dubai
Mm-hmm.
to allow me to apply for the visa and get this process done, because so basically you cannot live there if you are not working there, right? So I was there for on like tourist visa for a while, because my work visa had already expired since I had left the company. So they processed it very fast,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I was here in September.
The last year.
Yeah, exactly. It's 2020.
Nice. And yeah, I can imagine how complicated that was, but I'm grateful that you made it at the end and that I got the chance to know you and to work with you.
Same here.
How is your experience in Life and Tent?
It's good. So of course, I think the team here is great to work with, and I think my life here is a bit more stable
Mhm.
than Dubai. Now I have, I think, because my husband is here, so like I feel like home when living here. Back in Dubai, of course, I had my brother and my sister-in-law there, right?
Mhm.
But I was never sure about being settled down there, or I never thought about living there for a long time. But here I see that possibility. I see having a peaceful life, I would say.
Yeah, nice.
So, and of course, it definitely makes a difference for which company you're working with, right? Because if you are like supported and you have a good work environment and good work culture, it really helps you to eliminate the unnecessary stress out of your life,
Yeah.
and get to have a clear picture where are you going with your career and personal life as well.
Yeah, you're right. And what are the current challenges that you are facing?
I think the only challenge I would say I faced here was not knowing German. It is
Mm,
hard, I would say.
yeah.
It is, of course, it was a different fit for me to be here, being an Indian. Of course, it is sort of hard. I would say to communicate, to understand the surroundings, but those, I think they will go with the time. They will go away with the time, I would say. And work wise, I would say, I think I won't say challenges, but I would call them opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I worked here and learned the most is based on the about the infrastructure. So it was fun
Yeah.
about how we have all these pipelines to deliver data through different services. And because earlier, like I said, I was using Kafka, and of course, the concept is the same, producer and consumer, but definitely it's a different tech stack. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that was kind of uh, new thing to learn for me.
Yeah. Do you remember when we talked about why there are few women in tech?
Yeah. I think when we discussed about it, I remember, I think IT is still male dominated field, I would say. There are less women here. And from my experience that I had noticed, okay, when I say they, it's not just people, it's like in general, like we have this opinion that it's a very hard stream to be in, and only certain mindset can survive here and work for the long time. Like I said, when I noticed that some people are good at programming uh, in the beginning, they might have a long shot to be in this field rather than someone who has to work bit extra hard to get ahead,
Mm-hmm.
which is not true. It's like any other job or any other industry. Yes, they have their advantage, people who are good at problem solving skills before, but again, the skills are there to be learned, right?
Yeah.
So the more you work into it, the more you learn about the problems, the easier it gets. That's, but again, in the beginning, people, especially women, they think it's going to be too hard.
Yeah.
And like, if I remember correctly, when I started my journey, so the girls who joined with me, so some of them went for the UI, some of them went for the testing, not because they thought it's going to be interesting, but thinking that it might be easier there.
Mm.
And it's not easy. It's definitely not easier there, because, of course, eventually they all fall into the same category. The more complex the system gets, the more complex the solution will be, right?
Yeah.
So I think we need to eliminate this thought process that this stream is hard and it's not for the women. And somewhere I think it's probably because, like in my case, I remember our teachers who you might have worked into a big company or something. They told us that women are not, like, it's not a good job for women. I mean, for a long term, which
Mm.
is not a nice thing to say to people who are studying the
Yeah.
technical
Yeah.
field, that you might not survive into this field for a long. So there is no easy way out, right? And it's with every job. There is no easy job.
Yeah, I think everyone would like if someone would like to learn programming independently of their gender, if there are some difficulties,
Hmm.
all people will face them and try to learn from them
Right,
and need experience. It
right,
doesn't have to do anything with gender. And I think the teachers participated on making this stereotype
right.
about, yeah,
Like you said, it's very right thing that it has nothing to do with the gender. The problems are same for everyone, right? So
yeah,
I think instead of demotivating a particular set of gender, it's not a right thing. There are so many opportunities, and we IT is still in its boom, right? There are so many opportunities, and we definitely need more women into this field.
yeah. Like sometimes when an industry is dominated by, let's say, by only men, this
Hmm.
will not encourage. Like maybe the newcomers will think that it's not, it wouldn't be comfortable, or they will think that it's not their place. Maybe there is a reason why there is less women, and but the reason is that maybe stereotypes that
Right.
affected the future generation to choose this path.
Exactly, like you said, this is true, because most of the women I have noticed, they either choose out of this industry thinking that it is going to get more complicated with time, and they might not give this much time into constant learning and getting adapt to new technologies. But it's not like that. I mean, I know
Yeah,
it changes a lot, but again, it's with the same every other industry, right? You have to be up to date
Yeah.
with other things too, right?
Yeah.
So why not just work hard, like, because that's what you will do in any other job profile, correct?
Yeah.
And to stay there for long term, there is only going to be the same strategy. You have to keep working hard and be consistent. So I think it's the same mantra I would say work in this industry also.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully that the co-workers help each others to improve and move forward and not make it difficult for others. Let's say I believe it to that it is my place here. I can work in tech and I can improve my knowledge and skills. But also,
Mhm.
it's not only this enough to get me and continue on tech. Is also the people who are, let's say, who are working with me, and they also have a role. They contribute on seeing these things that, yeah, they are inclusive and they are treating me the same way. I mean, there are some jobs that limit women. They give women less salaries than others, and this is really unfair. And like, it's also the process and the culture of the company is important.
I think that's a great point that you are talking about, VM, because uh, if you notice in my sentences, like I said, I'm grateful for the people that I had been working with, right?
Yeah,
So I think I was lucky enough to be always part of the team that helped me to move forward. But like you said, there are companies, there are places where the work culture is not that good,
yeah,
right? And it becomes quite challenging for people to move forward, and especially for women, because again, a ratio does matter, right? If you feel that kind of hostility in the environment, you think about giving up,
yeah,
because that because sometimes that might be the only option for you to get out of a situation, right?
yeah,
That's a very good point that you had made, because circumstances definitely stand with the team and the work culture that you have in your company and in general, right? So, for example, you can give yourself a confidence that yes, you can do it, and you can be the part of this field, right? But if the support system is not that good, the team is and the people you are not that good that you're working with, that things might become a challenge rather than an opportunity, right?
yeah,
To go ahead.
exactly. Yeah,
But this is the interesting thing, like, because for me personally, I have developed not a strategy, I would say, but of course, you don't want to see yourself hurt, correct? That's the whole scenario. So for me, I noticed that instead of giving up, always look out for another opportunity or another job,
yeah,
because it's always easier to change the job than the profile,
that's
right?
right.
Because your struggle is not with the computational problem. With your struggles are not with the machine. Your struggles are with people, and you're lucky enough to change it. It
Yeah,
might be difficult, but again, the more you work into this field, the more experience you have, definitely you're going to have more opportunities, and there is going to be point where you will have that sort of luxury that you can pick out which team you want to be part of.
yeah, that's
But
right.
to be at that point, yes, you definitely should not give up.
Yeah. How could we decide that this team is inclusive and open for diversity, etc.? What
uh,
do you think?
I think, to be honest, this is something you learn with the experience. How comfortable you feel within a team, first of all. Like, there can be microaggressions about certain things. And of course, you need to be alert about how you are being treated, right? Because, see, I think when we talk about our gut feeling, right?
Yeah,
You know how you are being treated, how people are taking into consideration your opinions, the solutions that you are trying to provide, right? How
yeah,
seriously you are taken at the work. So And it's not just about that, what you're giving. If you're stuck somewhere, how everyone in the team is helping you out. Because word team we have is that means everybody needs to move forward, right? To
Yeah.
make things work. So if you feel that you are being left behind, but when you ask for help and you ask for the guidance and you see how your team coming along with those factors can help you decide what kind of surroundings you are working with, right?
Yeah. That's right.
And the more, I think, the more teams you work with, you realize it more, like which ones, with which team you are having better chemistry, what kind of people you want to work with. And this is why I think I put so much emphasis on experience, because it gives you the confidence,
Yeah, that's right.
right? Because initially you might be lost, right? You don't know that what is happening around you, and it might take time for you to catch up. But with experience, you know certain things, right? So you can be the part of the team where you are learning and you are also sharing.
Yeah.
So there, you don't have to think about you as someone who is always in backseat and seeing people. You are part of the team and you see how you are being treated.
I ask you questions that sometimes I asked myself. I was like asking like, how would I know if I made the right decision by changing to a new
Mm-hmm.
company? How would I know that I will be in the right place?
Right.
I was afraid,
Mm-hmm.
but then you're right that I should. It's fine. It's a new opportunity, and also along the way, I can notice how comfortable I feel and how the team works with me and how I work with them and whether my ideas are heard or not.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we learn. Yeah.
Right.
Do you have any advice for people who are interested about tech and would like to choose it as a major, or they are like on their first steps in their career?
I think the advice that I want to give out to people who want to join this industry or take it as a major in their studies, just don't overthink it. It's an interesting field to be in, and yes, it has its challenges, but it has again its rewards. Don't stress out about thinking too much that what might happen and how you may have to survive things. Just if you are into problem solving, you are going to love this field. Another advice that I would like to give, there is no specific path for this career. And I know people who left their education in between or were dropout, then went out, worked, and realized they really want to do this and came back to their studies. So, no matter at what point of your life you are standing, you just have to put the sincere efforts into it and just figure out what you really want. So, if you think that just because you did not earn a specific bachelor's degree into this field, so you are somewhere left behind, it's not true. It's all about how much dedicated you are about this field.
Yeah, that's right. Like, how about when people are in a stage that they are applying for their first job after just finishing their studies? It takes time, right? It takes time and patience.
It does. It does. I know a lot of my friends who had been trying to find, uh, like in their initial years, they were actually trying for years to find an opportunity so they can start their career,
Yeah,
right? And it definitely requires a lot of patience to get through all those rejections. But I think I know for sure they are happy today that they processed through it and somehow they handled that sort of pressure early in their career, because they definitely like this field. So don't let any rejection put you down or make you feel demotivated, because once you get the opportunity, you are going to feel the sweet victory, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Nice, Ujali. I'm very happy to talk to you. It was very nice, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, VM.
After this conversation, I got motivated and inspired. I learned from Ujali that we just need to try things out so we can get more experience and we learn more about ourselves and about what we want. This could be applied for the work environment or for any new stages or steps that we might fear to take because they are unknown for us. We just need to go for it and to be open to learn. I hope, my friends, that you also learned and got inspired from today's episode. I'm looking forward to our next episode with a new guest and new inspiring story. Until then, stay safe and stay tuned to our next episode. Take Tag, tackle the inspiration.